What's up, guys? Make sure you like and subscribe down below. I try to make these videos every day to keep you in the loop in the financial sector, housing, and the government regulations that are going to affect you daily. It means a lot to us, and I want to try to give back to the community. Thank you very much. Have a good one. What's up, guys? So today I want to talk to you about Meet Kevin and how he's been absolutely wrong on his prediction for the housing market crash that he's been talking about for the last 6 months. So for those of you that don't know who Meet Kevin is, he's been in the YouTube arena for a few years now, and he's become sort of a trusted source in the YouTube community due to his daily and even hourly video updates on all things related to the stock market, housing, and the government, and often how the three are related. Now, recently, Meet Kevin's began having some mixed reviews due to his misses on these stock picks. And also that there's going to be a substantial housing crash, which he started talking about at the same time that he was launching a home investment company called House Hack. So if you go back to when this all started, back in about April, Kevin began talking about this when the Federal Reserve began raising their federal funds rate. The federal funds rate has now risen over 3% this year in response to inflation. And it was a late response at that. It really should have happened in early 2021. But Meet Kevin expected that this would absolutely destroy the housing market, even stating that he sold most of his real estate in early 2022, and which he claimed that would be the top of the market. Now, there's been some dips in certain markets across the U.S., while other powerhouse cities like LA, Houston, Chicago have remained quite strong. Now, what has happened is the Fed has been said to have been raising rates too fast, too quickly, without knowing the effect of the hikes and what their actually effect has been. So the response will certainly be to begin purchasing mortgage-backed securities and subsidizing rates again once the Federal Reserve admits or changes course and realizes that they've gone too far too fast, or they start to see a significant decline in inflation, which we began assuming that this would happen at the last Federal Reserve meeting. It was seeming that way. There were some comments made, and Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell actually started to change course at the end of that, saying that he wasn't quite sure that they were ready to pivot yet. However, we did get some CPI data the last week, and it came in lower than expected. And now you're starting to see markets rally. The elections are now over. Markets are rallying because of that as well. And you're still seeing unemployment creep up. And this kind of coincides with what the Fed will want to see when they begin to pivot. And once they pivot and they begin purchasing mortgage-backed securities again and subsidizing rates again by reducing the federal funds rate, with low home inventory still being a problem in the majority of the country, anyone who sells when this happens could see much greater gains than what was possible in even early 2022 when Meet Kevin was going on about this. So he's urged sellers to sell. The majority of his followers have heeded this advice, and the issue is that currently with rates being high, it presents a real buying opportunity for buyers and investors. Because now sellers with homes that are sitting on the market for longer than a week begin to panic, and when their home is not getting multiple offers after the first week, they become much more willing to negotiate the sales price. Even though rates are higher, the opportunity here is that buyers could get $50,000, $60,000, or even $100,000 off the purchase price for a home. And for Burr investors, this is the ultimate goal. The thing that has some of them hesitant is the rate, but why can't you have both? And so what Kevin's not mentioning is that if you're able to get $50,000, $60,000, or $100,000 off the principal of a property up front, when rates do decline, demand will usually increase at the same time, and you're able to refinance for a lower rate. And if you do cash out, you're more than likely going to be able to pull out more cash since you got it at a lower price to begin with. And that's going to benefit the Burr community much more just by, maybe having higher payments for a few months and then refinancing when the time is right to pull out cash. Or if they're working on something that they're going to offer cash for anyways, it's the perfect time to buy because they're able to negotiate again. And now I'm not saying that Meet Kevin is deceiving any of his viewers purposefully, but there are multiple perspectives on the issue, and it's worth noting that while Meet Kevin is telling people to wait to buy, there's nothing to say that he's not out buying houses in this current market while he's telling his viewers otherwise. So I have to bring up that perspective because it is totally plausible and it makes sense because he's most likely a cash buyer, and this will be his most powerful leverage when he's negotiating on a property. Propelling the fear that the market will crash slows down the competition that he could be dealing with. And when he's bidding on houses, if there's a seller familiar with his channel at all, the seller could sincerely believe that the market will cause prices to drop further due to what he's been saying, and that Kevin could be coming in at a great time as sort of a savior before the value declines too much. Now, all of this is just food for thought, and I think that situations are different for each buyer. The one thing that buyers shouldn't do is hold off on their dreams or possibilities that arise in front of them because of fear mongering or because what someone on YouTube is suggesting that they do. Because everyone in this community by now knows that negative headlines get much more press than the positive ones. So if you're taking what Kevin is saying into consideration, there's a good chance that he's not exactly following what he's been saying. He's starting this company saying that he's not purchasing anything yet, but he's stacking cash and he is out there ready. So who's to say that he doesn't start tomorrow? Because it seems like some of the headlines that he does put out, they change on a daily basis. And what you want to be in the real estate market and in finance, you always want to be consistent, because the one thing you can't do is time the market. So in each market, there are advantages and disadvantages. And just like investing in the stock market, it's better to continually invest over time and not try to time it. Right now is actually an excellent opportunity to go in and negotiate with sellers. So let me know what you think below. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting these, try to post them daily, and keep you up to date with what's going on in the housing market, what's going on in personal finance. I hope everyone enjoyed this video, so like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks very much. Have a good one.